Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Practical Coding YouTube channel. So previously, if you go through my channel, you can see like I have created few videos on MongoDB's, Azure, and Hugging Face, and there is a small playlist for Bootstrap as well. And presently, I'm going to start a session on APIs because I'm planning to create a particular video series on web application development. So as you know, for web application development, the most important thing is to create the APIs. Okay, so I was searching some online materials, and before starting with APIs, I'll give you an idea what is an API and how it works. So let me open Paint. Okay, so I'm opening Paint. So basically, what API is, so for each and every web application, suppose if you have Flipkart or Amazon or any e-commerce website, or if you have something like Make My Trip or Booking.com, okay, so any of the ticket booking site or any of the applications which you are using through web, so there will be two interface. Okay, one is your front end, another one is your back end. Okay, so front end is like that is a UI, that is a user interface. So basically, you or me as a user, we cannot see the backend code or what is running on the backend for Flipkart or Amazon or any of the websites, right? So we can only see the UI. So suppose this is a UI. So this is the user interface, and suppose this is the backend. Okay, so this is the backend. So what happened was, so as a user, I can see I'm drawing a user. So don't laugh. So this is just for the basic idea, and my drawing skill is not that much good. So this is a user. So as a user, he or she can only see the UI. Okay, this is the UI. So he or she can only access to the UI, not the backend code. And what how the interactions happen is, so there will be APIs in between. Okay. So whatever the request as a user sending from UI to backend as a request, okay, as a request. So based on this request, this backend will give the user some response. Okay, give the some response. So this is the work of APIs. So this is the kind of thing where API lies between, okay, between backend and front end. So let's go to the APIs, like how API looks like and what are the APIs we have. So suppose I'm opening any of the websites. Suppose let me open some random sites like maybe flipkart.com. Okay, flipkart.com. So if I'll go to this flipkart.com, you can see it is opening. So this is the API. Actually, it is calling some get API, and based on the get request, it is sending you the user interface. Okay, so this is the URL. Okay, so this basically this URL is sending these many things. Okay, so this is a get request, and how the API look like. So it is basically interacting with front end as a user with the back end. Okay, similarly like this, whatever I described. Now, the different types of APIs. Okay, let me open some new paint. Okay, so basically there are four types of APIs. Okay, so what are the types of APIs? Maybe I can write like there is get request, there is post request, there is put request, and there is patch request. Okay, so I will talk about more about get and post, and put and patch also we will use, but not here. Maybe when I will develop the web application, that time I'll describe you what is a put request and what is a patch request. Okay, so let me start with the get request. So get request is basically the request where we can just get the data from the backend. Okay, there is nothing post or something. That is only the get request. So I already opened something. So here you can see like one image. So this is put request and this is patch request. And what is post request? Before that, I have to give you some idea. Let me write something. So get request is okay, not here. Maybe I have to just shift a bit. Yeah, get request is to get the data from a URL or website. Okay, so this is the get request. Post request is to create a new resource or append a new resource. Okay, so this is the work of a post request. And what is put and patch, that I'll describe. Okay, let's go back to the image. So this is the image. You can see like there is put and there is patch. So put is basically completely replace. You can see like there is a resource, okay, red color resource, that put request entirely replaced by this blue balls. Okay, so that is completely replaced. That is called put request. And patch, you might know like there is a small patch task happening in any of the websites or any of the backends. So patch means partially updates. So there are red balls and we are going to partially update few of the red balls with blue balls. So that time put request won't work. We have to go for a patch request. Okay, so this is the basic difference between put and patch. So put is, so maybe I can shift a bit like this. So put is completely replace. Okay, replacing completely the resource. Okay, and patch is just to, okay, patch task means, sorry. So I think this is not aligned. Yeah, now I can write just replace a few things. Just replace a few things, not the whole. Okay, so these are the four major kind of request. So let's start with get request. Okay, as I shown you, suppose I am opening any of the random sites, booking.com. So basically any of the URL is a get request. Whatever you are triggering or whatever you are typing and clicking the enter, that will send as a get request and you are getting the reverted data or getting the data reverted from the backend. So this is basically a get request. So what this get request is doing, it is basically giving you the backend template. Okay, template means the HTML page. Basically you are sending the get request and you're getting back the UI or the HTML page. So those all the things I will describe in the web application development videos. So let's start with some random things like APIs. Maybe we can start with get API, how it looks like and how it will work. So for that I just opened, I found it, already found it, a random website which is this one. Okay, so I'm removing all these things. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So this is basically a Google Colab. Okay, I have started the backend Python engine. It is already connected, and I have found this site. So basically, this is a test site. And okay, so let me go to this URL. Okay, so if I'm triggering this, okay, this method is not allowed. Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, so let me get some get request. Okay, so this is the site, and maybe I can get this. Okay, let me find some get example. Okay, get example is get JSON example. Okay, so this is the page. Okay, we're going to send this and let's see. So this is the basically URL. Okay, we're going to copy this and we are going to open this in new tab. Okay, so this is sending this. Okay, maybe we can try with the same, some other thing. Maybe we can search it like test API for get request. Yeah, these things maybe. Send your first API request. Let me find something. Okay, so this one, let's try with this. Okay, okay, so this is the basically API, this is the basically URL. Okay, so basically this URL is https colon double slash postmaneco.com/get. So I'm just randomly triggering this and it is sending me this data. So basically this is called a get request. I'm not putting anything, I'm not posting anything, or I'm not doing a patch task. I'm simply triggering this URL and getting this data from the URL. So this kind of request is called get request. And how can you get the data from the URL using Python? So I'll show you. So for that I have to write a few lines of code. So first I need to import the module called requests. Okay, then I need to mention the URL is equal to this. Okay, and then response. So basically response is a variable I'm assigning with this request. So what is the thing is requests dot get, and then I need to pass the URL. Okay, and then I'm simply printing response dot text. Okay, let's see whether it is working or not. I'm just triggering this. So it is showing like invalid URL. Okay, so why it is showing? Because I have to copy with HTTPS, not with the this thing. Okay, so I have to copy the HTTPS along with request. So let's see. Okay, so this time I got the details, same details, whatever available there, I got here as well. Okay, response.text. So if I only print the response, let's see what will be the response. So it is sending response 200. So to get the data, I have to use response.text. Okay, response.text like this. And guys, so in this response module, we have so many things. Okay, so what are the things available? So if I will print res response dot status underscore code, so you'll get a 200 things. See, so you're getting a 200 request. For that it is printing. So I want something else from this response request. So as I shared you in the previous videos how to print all the stuffs whatever available in the request. For that, for I in dir and then requests requests print I. Okay, let's see what are the things or stuffs available inside this. Okay, so you can see like there are so many stuffs available. Okay, author mail, blah blah blah, title, URL, version, codes, compact, modules, patch, request. See, status code also available. URL 3 utils, warnings, request, session, everything is available. So whatever as per your choice, you can just simply print this thing and you can simply test this thing and can see like what are the things available inside this requests module. Okay, so this is a basic GET request. So we are going to use this in our web application, but not like this manner. Maybe I can show you like how we can use that in web application in the separate some other videos. So in this videos we will talk about the post request as well. Okay, so for post request, most of the website won't allow, because for post request you need some authorization header. Okay, so again I'm going back to the site. Okay, so this is the website and let me go to the post JSON example. So what is the post request? Basically we're going to create a new resource or appending a new resource. So how the post request is look like? Suppose you have a database. Okay, so this is called database. So and this is a empty database. So through post request you can insert a new record. Okay, insert a new record. Okay, so this is one record is already present. You can insert the second record. You can create a third record like that. Or it is a new database. For the first record also you can throw a post request, and through that you can insert the data in the database. So basically it is creating a new resource or appending a new resource. Okay, so let's see what are the post request is available. Okay, so I'm clicking this send. So you can refer this site reqbin.com. Okay, so I'm posting this and let's see what is the response. Response is true. So basically I'm going to copy this, and in body, is there anything? Yeah, we have some body stuff over here. So basically what we need to do is we need to copy the same code. I'm removing this. Okay, so URL you need to mention this. Okay, so request dot post. Okay, so and you have to pass the URL. Okay, and what else? You have to provide a body. So basically it will be good if you do this through a particular tool like Postman, or in Visual Studio also we have an extension. Okay, so I am just providing this data. Okay, response dot URL, and then data we need to pass, and then print response dot status underscore code. Maybe let's see it will work or not. I think it won't work because post method data is not defined. Okay, so basically I have to copy this and I have to paste over here. Let's see. So 403 response code we are getting. So it means like okay, status code 403. It means like the server understands as a user's request but is unable to grant access. Okay, so through that I do not have access because I have some authorization header, which we need to pass. So you can see like there we have the headers. Okay, accept application JSON. Okay, so and authorization we have none. Okay, so authorization header we need to pass like accept is equal to application JSON. For that only we will get this success message. Okay, so that we need to pass as a complement in this request body. So that I'll show you in the next video how we can post a request through this process. But through Postman or the any of the API testing tool, you can simply post a request. Okay, you have to change through this post and just send this. And while sending this, it is sending the success. So if you change the resources, it will also success. So I'm giving my name over here and just going to send this request. And for that also, you'll get a success message. Okay. Similarly, we have patch request and put request example. You can just try this out. This is a put request example. You can simply go to this put. Okay. So body, we have something like ID, customer, quantity, and price. And headers, we do not have anything. And authorization is none. So basically, if we are sending this put request, it is sending me success message. Okay. And this patch request also you can try. So this is a patch request. You can simply try this out, and you can see like in body we are passing this, and if we are sending this, it is sending you the success message. So this is the way, guys. Okay, so how you can use this put, patch, get, or post request. Okay, so this is the main difference between a put and patch request. Put is completely replace and patch is partially updates, and get request is simply retrieving the data from the URL, and post is to create a new resource or appending a new resource to the existing one. So these are the four kinds of API request we have. Okay, so just go through this. So it is not a rocket science. This is a very basic thing. From the next video, we are going to start a new video series on web application development. So in web application, these APIs are very, very important because without APIs, it is impossible to build a web application, interactive web application. Okay, even static web application also unable to build without API requests, because all the time you have to revert back to the user something, either a template or either some data or something. So everything I will describe in upcoming videos. So I'm stopping here. If you have any doubts or anything, you can simply give a comment in the comment box. I'll surely respond to your comment, and see you in the next video. Till then, stay tuned and goodbye.